Well, howdy, 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 everybody. Teresa here. It is September 23rd, 2022. It is Friday evening at, what about 7? I don't know what time it is. Honey, what time is it?
It is 7:54.
7:54. See, I'm a whole hour off. Right, Jelly Bean? Come here, Miss Jelly Belly. Come here. Come and see everybody. Come say hi to the Miss Jelly Bean. Say hi. My mom been busy cleaning the house all day. And my dad, too. Right, Jelly Bean? She always sticks her paw in my shirt so I can't set her down. You see the smoke? It's my incense and candles, right, Jelly? Yeah, I'll show you guys. I could just turn it this way, Jelly Bean. Done this. Would be a lot easier. See? Like that. See? It's the little things in life that matter. See, the incense is right there. Those round things there are my avocado pits, which I'm going to put toothpicks in and put in water and grow into trees. I've done that before. And this, I forgot I had this here candle topper. I bought a long time ago. It didn't quite fit, but I bent the tab so now it fits. It'll fit regular jarred candles and then the wider mouth one too. Of course, this, as you can see, is a eucalyptus sage candle because, you know, the allergies have been something else. And this is just a apple scented tea light. So, and there's a vast array of my computer. Oh, don't look at those. And over here, but see, floor is nice and clean, except for there's a dog. Brad shampooed all the carpets in the house. And then you see my mess of clothes. Those are all clean now. See my mess of a poodle? Jelly Bean, Jelly. Hey, Jelly. Jelly Bean. Jelly, I know you hear me. She's ignoring me now. Jelly Bean, I was pushing your head. Hi. Hi, Miss Jelly Bean. Are you ignoring me? Tomorrow is groomation day for you. She's like, oh boy. I'm you guys back. You guys back? Okay. Alright, you guys are still going. Yike. Thought I forgot about you, didn't you? I just got done riding the bike. So, yes, we cleaned the whole house. We normally do on Fridays. Rest of the time, rest of the week, it just needs picked up. Fridays, we clean. Well, I don't know when Brad does his bathroom. He hits his bathroom whenever he does. But we mainly use my bathroom back here. Just to shower and that kind of stuff. I mean, Brad has his own shower, but we had to make some alternations. We had to do some repairs on my shower, and we robbed some parts from his shower head. So, and we haven't quite been able to afford to get, or forgot to get, the parts for his, so it's not that big of a deal, you know. So, but that's the day I clean my room, clean the bathroom, I dust the whole house, he vacuums the house, and then today was the extra that the carpets needed to be shampooed, because we'll spill stuff on the carpets, and we have dogs, and normally they're really great, but you know, it's just wear and tear too, so, you know, about once every 6 months or so we'll hit it with a steam cleaner. So, house is starting to shape up though. Yes, I have a whole bunch of stuff piled on my weight bench because I'm not using it right now. I piled everything up on the weight bench so the vent would be clearer. I've been getting a little too cold at night, and so has the jelly, and can't have that. Speaking of which, I'm still working on her dog sweater. I know, this is my fancy bag. I carry my current loom knitting package in. Not that I don't already have numerous bags sitting all over, like this. So, well, you guys didn't see it, but numerous bags of yarn and stuff. I'll set this down. Put it up here. I had to clean everything off my floor and stuff so Brad could shampoo Anyway, this is the ribbon I'm going to use. This ribbon on this sweater. But I put the old ribbon in there. You know, you start putting everything. And my poor little loom hook. Right, Jelly Bean? Right. So, this is the progress I have made on her sweater so far. See? So this is... There's okay, 2 different strands, of course. You can't tell it right up here right now because the colors are so similar. This is my solid color of green, and this is my variegated, like that. And then it'll go into, let's see, this is my solid, but it goes into different colors. From red to yellow to green to this blue. And I have one more skein like that. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to turn this fan. That's what the fan is. It's going right toward me. There. That's better. Making me sneeze. So anyway. So, like I said, I already did the armholes. I haven't forgotten again, Carol. And so now I'm finished. This one she's wearing right now is a longer one. Now I made the 2 of them I made too short, but let me keep forgetting that. But this one is longer. And that's about the length I want it. So yeah, I'll do that one. That way. Let's see, okay. So, you know, I may do one more after that, or I may not. I probably won't. I want to move on making some tote bags, shoulder bags, boho bags. Yeah. House is coming together, getting much better. And I did not see any more activity of mice, so I think they moved on out. You know, because I vacuum every week, so I could tell if there was any kind of activity, any kind of mouth droppings or anything, and there wasn't any this time, so yay. So really, what's really helping so much, okay, we got some mouse bait. I don't know if that's doing it, if the diatomaceous earth, which is food grade, we can mix it in with the dog food. Doesn't hurt humans either. You can also dust your dogs with it. Farmers use it for hundreds of years. You can dust your dogs with it if they're itchy, you know, if they've got itchy, or if you're worried about fleas or anything like that. It kills insects, it also kills mice, but it's perfectly safe for you and your animals, dogs and cats. I don't know about any other animal. I assume livestock and stuff, but always do your research. And then also we were using that bug preventative, which is safe for dogs and cats. It smells like cloves and cinnamon and stuff. And then also I was using essential oils of peppermint, which they don't like the scent of. And the one thing I did do that was working for me, this is the kind I always buy instead of Febreze, because it's from the $1.25 tree now, and it's so much cheaper. It's $1.25. I put some of my peppermint essential oil in here. You just shake it up really well right before you spray it. It smells quite lovely, and it also, you can re-wet your cotton swabs or your cotton balls, and it freshens up your house really nice. So that is just a hack, a tip from me. I didn't know if it was going to work or not, but it's working for me anyway. Ooh, what is that? There's a spider. Yuck. Oof. Ugh. Where is my Kleenex? There's Kleenex. Sorry. I'll be right with you guys. I don't know where that came from. That was gross. That was a nasty old spider. Whew. I had to save the bean. I had to save the jelly bean. Jelly bean, your mom just saved you from a great big icky old spider. Now I got the heebie-jeebies. You know how you get that? Like you kill something, and then you're like, ooh. Here I am telling you about all the bug spray and stuff in here. This big old... Well, it wasn't huge. It was big enough. They went on my bed and headed toward the poodle. What else? But yeah, cleaned house. We just had leftovers again for our first meal. I'm not sure what I'll have later tonight. Probably gonna have, I don't know if I'll have another salad or not. I've had salad for the last 3 nights. Kind of get tired of it. I'm not sure what I'll have. I might just have a can of veggies or something. I don't know. I'm not real hungry. I think so. I think I'm becoming lactose intolerant. Because last night we did have just a little bit of ice cream and it upset my stomach right away. Now, I don't usually do much dairy now. The creamer, of course, is non-dairy creamer. I do the yogurt, but that doesn't seem to bother me. But I don't eat it every day. But I used to eat like cottage cheese every day and stuff. But, so I noticed last night we had a bit of ice cream, and it's the second time it's happened. My stomach was upset. Then this morning, I asked Brad if he would make me a protein drink, and of course he used milk. Right away after he got done making it, my stomach was upset again. I think I'm becoming a bit lactose intolerant, and I know they have stuff you can take before that, and I'll have to do that. I did have some lactate or whatever it's called. I'll probably have to do that again. So, getting to be that age. What did Brad have? Oh, Brad had he had a waffle for breakfast. So, I slept better last night. I got more sleep than I normally do, so that's good. This is day 4 of 5 riding the bike. I skipped Tuesday. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll do it tomorrow. That'll make my 5 days. I do arm exercises, stretches and stuff in conjunction. I get a pretty good, nice sweat going with riding the bike. And it helps me breathe as I'm riding the bike. And I'm going at a pretty good clip. I find whatever I'm going to watch on TV, usually it's a YouTube video. And I work on deep breathing. And when I first start, my lungs are kind of junky. The more I ride, the looser they become, and then I'm pretty good. So, we did go ahead and have to get my Advair early because, well, not early for me, but I was trying to only do it once a day, because it's $25 a month. And I know it didn't seem like a whole lot, but when you're taking multiple things, yeah. Last night I took 40 units of insulin instead of I used to be on 80. 80? Yes, I used to be on 80. Then my doctor wanted me to cut back to 70. Then I've been having to cut down to 60. Longer I'm on the Ozempic, then I had to cut down to 50. And last night I took 40, even though I had a little bit of ice cream. And I was at 103 this morning, so that's spot on. So that might be where I need to be, depending on how many carbs I've eaten, if I'd eaten any. Oh, come to think of it, we had a bagel later that night. We were both hungry and we didn't eat. We usually split a bagel with our salad. So, wow. I have to be wary of that. I may have to cut it to 30 if I'm not having something like that. For me, I want to take the least amount of insulin as possible and keep cutting the carbs. I don't normally eat carbs like that late at night. We were watching the end of season 2 of Alone, and it was a really good season. And we both, like I said, had forgotten to eat any carbs, and they were small salads anyway. They were left over from the night before, so no weekend plans. That's kind of getting to me. not really getting out of the house and having more to do. I told Brad we need to re-implement date night because we're supposed to be doing that and we haven't been. And you can't just stay home all the time. And sometimes I really struggle with, I wish like I had extra money to go get my hair done. Yes, I can do my hair, but it would be nice to go and sit in the salon, and I love to have my hair washed and stuff, and just, have your hair blown out and curled. That would be nice. I never have that done anymore. It's just not extra money, and I know we're all struggling. I'd like to, go out to a nice dinner. It doesn't have to be something fancy, but, I'd like to go out more. This is what happens with me when I'm losing weight. And one of my struggles is, it's easy to be okay with the way your life is. For me, okay, I'm not going to say for all you guys. For me, it's easy to be moderately happy with the way your life is if I can stuff down my feelings with food. Because I'll stay home and I'll eat. I'll cook and I'll eat. The problem is when I can't do that anymore. Because yeah, I'd love to bake. And when I say cook, I want to bake. Like this time of year too, I struggle. I want to do a lot of baking. But I know I cannot because then we will eat. And I don't necessarily eat that much of when I bake now, but Brad will. And that's not fair to him. That's not fair to do to him. Oh, here's all this great yummy stuff. So, when you take that away, when I start to lose weight and I start feeling better, then I want to go do things. And with the current state of the economy, and also it is harder. Once you have a disabled spouse, it is harder. It's hard to watch your spouse struggle. I struggle, but I can only speak for me. It's hard to watch Brad struggle. And it's hard to watch him really feel bad because sometimes he feels like people pity him. And so, but I find myself wanting to go do things. And all I can do is tell myself that not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. Yes, I'm walking so much better. And I'm around here, and my house is very reflective on how I'm feeling better because it's getting so much better. Believe me, guys. But not yet. I need to still get a lot more physically fit. Keep the upstairs going, which is a real struggle. I was talking with a friend of mine about some mental health stuff. She knows I've had my own struggles with mental health issues. It runs in my family a lot. And it's very hard because if you're an empath, like I am, and like she is, you kind of absorb how other people are feeling. And it's very hard to kind of take a step back because if you keep absorbing everything, it will cripple you. And I'm very much that way. And I feel very bad when I see somebody, not her, but when I see somebody struggling and not being able to get help they need with mental health, because we really have got to make some major reforms. I've talked to you guys before about when I tried to no longer be here, as in alive. And even after they had to work on me for a very long time in the hospital, and then get me to a psych hospital. There still really wasn't the resources it should have been. It was mainly geared toward anybody that had an addiction. And yes, I was stable enough and stuff they let me out after about 18 hours. Or no, 36. I was supposed to do a 3-day hold, a day and a half. But still, there really weren't the resources that should have been there. It's shown that psych hospitals will keep you as long as the insurance is good. Now I understand it's almost impossible to get appropriate, immediate help without waiting months, weeks, months, you know. We're also taught you may never say that you're feeling like you might want to do yourself in, because they're going to stick you right in the hospital. Instead of talking to you about why and what alternative ways you could think, you're taught don't say anything. If that's what you're thinking, don't say anything because they're going to put you in. That's what happened to me. Is prior to that, I was talking to my primary care physician. This is Wyoming. And I had told him that months previously, I had been thinking about that. He called the police on me. And the police show up. There's the clinic. So you were taught right then, don't ever, and they didn't keep me or anything. They took me to the hospital, did a quick eval, let me go. But you were taught right then and there not to ever talk about it. My family's reaction was, my children were, I come to finally in the ER. And my children, who were adults by then, very angry. My mother-in-law is on my ass. My husband just kind of bewildered. My family, of course, was of no support. I remember my father saying that I was fucked in the head. They actually made fun of what happened. And they actually said, well, anybody that is thinking about attempting such is just a cry for help. And I said, I didn't say anything to anybody about it. I just did it. There's got to be a lot of reforms. Mental health is not a joke. I don't care if you're diagnosed with seasonal depression, if you're diagnosed with, severe depression, moderate depression, manic depressive, if you're diagnosed bipolar, if you're diagnosed with any number of psychosis, schizoaffective disorder, on and on and on. It's not a joke. You can't just pull yourself up by your bootstraps and just make it all be okay. There's a lot of things we can do to help. But you can't always just make it all okay. A lot of times it's a combination of therapies, medications, maybe a change in career, change in atmosphere, change in home life. Maybe you have to change everything about your life. One of the things that helps me is we moved. Living in such a cold, desolate state like Wyoming was not good for me. And in turn, it also Brad suffered from depression that we didn't notice because we were so focused on mine for so long. And a lot of times that does happen where a spouse will become depressed when they're trying to help the primary depressed person, Not getting enough sun, not really having things to go do because it's cold. Winter's about 9 months out of the year on a good year. So that's helped. But it's still hard. And it'll always be hard. There's not a magic button that, everything is just sunshine and roses every day. Today's been a harder day for me. There's some issues nothing horrible, but there's some things that, just normal life things that have gone on, that have made me feel a little bluer. And like I said, it's nothing bad. It's just life. But the reason I'm talking about this to you guys right now is I don't want you, I know so many of us suffer from it, or know somebody that suffers from it, and we shouldn't be ashamed. It's something we have to learn to live with. You know, it doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't make you not feel love as much. If a lot of times we feel more, and that's part of the problem. A lot of times it goes hand in hand with other things in your life. I have fought depression, especially since I hit puberty. Especially since I've gotten older. And like I said, I used to have a massive eating disorder that went flip-flop from one extreme to the other. Either I was bulimic or I'm extremely heavy. I'm extremely obese. Had to quit that well over 20 years ago. I was going to be dead. Because I was taking, mine with laxatives and water pills. When I was bulimic. When I was going through that. And that never completely leaves you where you still sometimes think, I don't think about it now because I know it will kill me, but, you know, I used to. And then when you're in the phase of ignoring it and just eating and cooking and, you know, that's why I never judge anybody. I don't care how heavy you are. If you want to lose weight, and I'll cheer you on. If you want to be the way you are and you don't want to, I'm going to cheer you on. I'm going to cheer you on for the person you are. I don't care what you weigh, as long as you're happy with yourself. You know, this is only our shell. It is not our essence. Our essence is inside. Someday this will be gone. As far as I will be dead. As we all will be. Hopefully my spirit will go on. So be supportive of people that you know, in whatever capacity they're going through a mental health issue. Or if they know somebody, maybe they're related to, or know somebody who, a colleague, a friend, a family relative, be supportive of them because it's hard on them to try to help the people that they care about. I think we all just need to be a lot nicer to each other, a lot more understanding. You know, that's part of the reason I do these videos, to talk to you guys just like I were if you were sitting across from me having, this is tea, but this is the cup my friend Leanne got me. But if you were sitting right here across from me, this is the way I would talk to you. I've had a good cry today. Wasn't that anybody did anything to me. Just one of those life things. I sat outside for a while. Sometimes you feel like, you just feel kind of like you're suffocating. I need to get outside and just breathe in some fresh air, look at the field across from me, watch some guys fix the fence way across. I had to close front room door so the dogs weren't just going crazy. That helped. Lighting candles helps. I showed you that. That makes me feel better. And I decided I wasn't going to feel sorry for myself, that I can't afford to go to a salon. I'm going to have my own beauty night. Probably tomorrow night I'm going to deep condition my hair again. And, you know, because it looks kind of ratty right now because I've been cleaning house and stuff. But I'm gonna have a beauty night. I'm gonna put a facial on. I'm gonna do a mask. Heck, I might even paint my fingernails and toenails. I just might. Then I'm just going to have a spa night. Kick back, watch some TV. It'll be good. Light my candles. Time of year I really like my candles. And I'm excited because that crock pot's coming in. And I'll be able to make candles next week. I still never made it into doing painting yesterday. I've been a little off. I need to go in over the next 3 days and do some painting. That'll help me. That'll help me. We had to open up that crafts room, though, because the door was shut. Even though in trailer houses, there's a gap at the bottom of every door. So for the airflow, it was cold than anything in there. And I'm like, you gotta open that up because there's the way to go for me to be painting in there. So, plus then, it really makes your paint super stiff and harder to mix and stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to go in there, and another thing that will help me is to go in there and have my headphones on and paint. One of the things is if you're fighting depression and having some issues with that, sometimes what I've had to do, this is all trial and error, so I am not an expert over anything other than my own. So you're going to have to just, don't take my word for it. You just find what works best for you. But sometimes I've been so distraught that I've thought, I'm going to sit and make a list of things that would help me. Things I enjoy doing that I no longer do. Painting, listening to music, sitting outside, going and watching ducks or birds, sitting by water, doing a facial, deep conditioning my hair, that kind of stuff. Some self-care, some self-enjoyment. And so if you find yourself, or if you know somebody, you can say, hey, could you make me a list of some things that you haven't done in a long time that you used to love to do? Maybe we could try doing some of those. Maybe you can step clear away from everything else and even go do something like that. Whether it's the littlest thing, maybe it was something they did when they were a kid, like maybe they like to go to a river and skip rocks. You'd be surprised. They start to find themselves. It gives them other things to do, to pull out of and away from their headspace, because sometimes you can get so confused in your headspace you can't even make heads or tails out of even what you're thinking. There's been whole days I've sat there was just depressed, and I've seen Brad do it, where you just sit there and it's like you're frozen in space. You're frozen right there, and you want to get up and do things, but you can't make yourself do it because you can't think clearly. And it's also when you can't sleep. When you can't sleep. Now, I'm two ways. I'm always a little depressed. That's just my nature. I don't know if I'm a little depressed. I just, I'm an insomniac, okay? So don't think what I'm about to say is like, oh, she must be very depressed. I will, not sleep for days if I'm super depressed, or I will sleep a ton. I will sleep all day and night for a while. So, I'm sleeping. I just don't go to sleep till about 6 or 7 a.m. And I decided, you know what? I'm not going to feel bad about it anymore. My kids are raised. I can make my own hours. I'm up by about 11 every day, no matter what time. Now, last night was better. I fell asleep about 3-ish. Then I woke up about 8:30, and I was up about an hour, and I went back to sleep for another hour and a half. So I got more sleep last night. But anyway, that's just a couple of things that you can think about. Be approachable to if you know somebody that has depression. Maybe you can't really help with it. Maybe it's a trigger point, but you could say, hey, you should talk to me about anything else. We don't have to talk about that. We can talk about the weather. We can talk about Because they may not want to talk about the depression. They may be talked to death about the depression. They live with it all the time. So, Because they don't want to be looked at like they're different either. Talk to them about anything else. Be kind. Be nice. I would not want to accuse somebody of faking it, or faking it if they were thinking about ending their life. Because, God, what if you were wrong? I'd rather be wrong, and, oh yeah, they were, but I was there for them. You know what I mean? We've all lost way too many people to it. It's just not the famous people. In my personal life, I've lost quite a few people to it. Family and friends. Yep. One of the most haunting, I'm going to tell you this real quick story, and I'm going to let you guys go. One of the most haunting images that still sticks with me is Brad and I were coming home. We had been in town. We were coming back to our little town. But we had been in, this is Wyoming. And it was rainy and it was dark. When you're going to go on the off-ramp to go into our little town, we lived out in Bar None. So we're coming in from Casper. We're on the interstate. There was a car pulled off to the right. Here's the off-ramp, and it was up ahead of it. It was cold and rainy, and I saw this individual get out of the vehicle and walk across the front. I saw them drop to their knees in front of their front tire, passenger tire. And I told my husband, I said, "Oh man, that's a bad night to have to change your tire." And I said, "Do you think we should stop and help me?" He's like, No, they probably have called somebody, and we had already passed that anyway. Didn't think too much of it. Then I think the next day or next couple of days in the paper, on the police calls, there had been a suicidal subject. And it had been a young lady. You couldn't tell in the rain, An individual had short hair. And so I'm just surmising that when I saw her drop to her knees, I remember she was like this. Well, I couldn't tell if she had, maybe she had a phone, or because she had shot herself. How cold and alone she must have been that night. Was she scared? Did she just feel like there was nothing worth living for? I know when I did mine, I just felt like nothing would ever change and nothing would ever get any better, and I was just done. I wished I could have reached out, but she might have turned around and shot me too. I don't know. She might have been so distraught. Which I always wished you could have helped. Be kind to each other. A little kindness goes a long way. It really does. Not an easy world for any of us. With that, I'm sorry this is kind of a somber thing, but it's been much on my mind. But remember, I love you guys. I truly do. And I cherish your friendship. And that I truly mean too. Remember, do something nice for somebody else, even if it's just a quick text. Or if they don't even know it, just a quick thought. Do something nice for yourself. Like deep condition your hair. Because it's looking a little wagadoo because I've been cleaning the house. I've had headphones on and everything else. But, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. I really mean that. Get out, enjoy some sunshine if you can. Hug your loved ones. Hug your friends. Don't ever feel alone. Those of you that are alone, you know who you are. I'm never more than a text message or a Facebook message away. Don't forget that, okay? I do read every message. Sometimes I'll let them build up a little bit. If I know you're okay, and I'll answer them, but I kind of pick and choose who I think needs some encouragement the most. And remember that I love you guys. And have a great weekend. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll get to say bye, Brad. Bye, guys.